Welcome to race day for Ironman Muskoka. Things started out in the dark and early morning where we had to drop off our special needs bags and make any final adjustments we wanted to our gear in our transition. Then it was on to the long walk down to the water to get ready for that swim in the beautiful lake. Finally, we had to drop off our morning clothes bag, which we were waiting for us at the end of the day. Rather than using age group wave starts, this race featured what's known as a rolling start, more like a running race. You basically lined up beside a sign that had your estimated time of the swim, which meant that you were swimming with people your same ability, which meant less bumping and bruising in the water. The swim was a single loop on the beautiful Lake Ferry and ended up on the golf course at Deerhurst. Then, of course, we had the awesome wetsuit peelers, which would help us take off our wetsuits before making the long run up to the transition. Here you can see just how efficient they are getting those suits off of us. From the waterfront, it was then a 300 or 400 meter run, basically uphill, back into the Deerhurst Resort where we could do our transitions. Inside the massive change hall, we had lots of room to get ourselves organized and plenty of volunteers on hand to help with all of our needs while we were in there. It was now time to mount our bikes and make our way onto the bike course, 180 kilometers of beautiful riding in the Lake of Bays region. Many people know this course as the Beauty and the Beast because it's quite a beautiful course, but it has relentless hills all along. As you can see, the roads were very good pavement and we didn't experience too many problems. There were a number of spots where we had some turnarounds, and that was just to make sure we got the full distance. In addition, there were 4 aid stations spaced out along the course, each of them very long, giving you plenty of time to grab the drinks and even pitch your discarded bottles and hockey nets at the end of those. The bike course consisted of a double loop, each comprising about 90 kilometers. This meant that you got to see the same hills twice, and you knew what you were up against the second time around. Some of the highlights for me in this course are, of course, going by the lakes and seeing all the crowds in some of the little towns, as you can see here. They came out in good numbers to cheer us on. On the second loop, we also had access to our special needs bags, which would give us a little bit of extra nutrition if we needed it, and let us get set up for a strong finish. But before you knew it, we were running back into the Deerhurst Resort and getting ready for that run.
I just finished the 180K bike. Did a quick transition here in the main hall, and we're heading out on the marathon course now.
Before heading out on that run course, it was a good idea to stop and use some of the volunteers to get some sunscreen applied because the sun was now blazing. And then we eventually ran our way into Huntsville, where lots more crowds were there to cheer us on.
Running through downtown Huntsville here. Good crowds cheering us on. Gonna keep running and getting this thing done.
Like the bike course, the run featured 2 loops of 21 kilometers each, so we had to run all the way back into Huntsville and see the finish line before heading back out for the second half of the run. This made things a little difficult, but luckily there were some decent sights along the way.
Well, that's not good. 2K to go. Massive leg cramps and I have no salt to take. Damn! Everything's going so well.
The upside of the cramps in the last section was it gave me time to reflect on the whole day.
From New York, you are an Ironman.
After crossing the finish line and joining the ranks of Ironman, you first picked up your medal, then a t-shirt, and also got your coveted finisher's cap. From there, they could remove the chip off of your leg and you could move on to your day, which included heading to the post-race buffet. Mainly it was yogurts, cookies, and pizza slices and that sort of thing, just something to get your energy back. Then for me, it was back towards the finish line to watch and be inspired by all the additional finishers coming through for the following number of hours.
How was your race, man?
Awesome, challenging, everything I wanted it to be and more.
Well, it's just after 8 here in the bike pickup zone. I finished my race, the sun's about to set, and the party's about to begin. We're gonna stay here and cheer on the final finishers till around midnight tonight.
As the sun went down and darkness set in, it was pretty cool to stand around and watch the different athletes coming in who had been out there on the course for more and more hours. You just knew that they had suffered a little bit more out there, but that the feeling when they crossed the finish line would be even more spectacular for them.
Carol, you are an Ironman.
After nabbing a few hours of sleep, it was back to Deerhurst in the morning for the final awards ceremony.
Congratulations, everyone. You're all champions. We're so proud of you.
The reason you had a great day is because there were 1,300 plus volunteers out there, and I want to hear an even louder applause.
In addition to overall winners shown here, every single age group winner was recognized at the ceremony.
Well, that does it for me from this year's inaugural Ironman Muskoka. I'm part of the tribe now, although I probably won't get the tattoo. It was a great race and perfectly executed for the first time they ever ran it.